Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shenanigans Barber Derby Classic number 37. That's right, we're getting in on it. For the first race today, the first qualifier of the evening. Tam Race, Kira Druska, Dr. X, The Music, Bubble Kramer, Yorkshire, Jake Cliff, Gaming, Feared Whiskey, Paradot, and Sensei Balker. Let's see what they're going to have in store for us as they go into this first qualifying race. Right out of the gate, 11 marbles, ready to give it their all. Let's see what happens. On the track, marbles loosed into the racing. Let's see what's going to go. We got Sensei Balker on the out-hand side. Paradot climbing up through the middle, and Yorkshire with a straight line on the inside rail. All the marbles coming around into the first major turn, looking pretty good as they go into the backstretch. Yorkshire getting some air as they go around off of that bend. Here comes Yorkshire with a good line up front. Kira Zalka bounces off the outside to get a better boost of speed towards the middle. The other marbles now trying to keep pace as they go through. Dr. X with some good speed boosting on the outside rail. Oh my goodness, Bubble Kramer taking one out. Sensei Balker takes Bubble Kramer out. And both marbles falling fast on that inside grind. Dr. X in the lead around the second quarter as they go for the second lap. Kira Zalka holding the lead, or holding second place as they go through on that outside line. Cliff Gaming, Paradot, and Yorkshire trying to find a way to answer, but right now it's Kira and Dr. X pulling a huge lead as they cross the line. Kira with a good boost of speed. The old tried and true strategy of saving up your speed for the second half of the second lap. And it looks like Kira might be going for that here, but they might have gassed it too early as there are still plenty of marbles giving chase. Jake Cliff, Sensei Balker, Dr. X, and Drahuska all in line. Down to just 7 marbles now as they continue to kill each other in the back of the pack. Drahuska trying to get some speed, but Kira's got one more boost. They found their second win. The rainbow's shooting out the back of that unicorn like it was meant to be, and they are just rocketing around the bend, going for the final stretch, but Drahuska finds a good line towards the inside. Kira Zalka on the final stretch, trying to keep the pace. Jake Cliff, Drahuska, and Sensei Balker, Dr. X all trying to find a way to make it happen, but it looks like it's too little too late. Kira perfectly executing the old tried and true strategy and gassing it on the second lap, taking the victory for themselves. First one to qualify. Let's get into the second race. Here we are on the second qualifier of the night. Drahuska, Kira Zalka, Paradot, Moonmaster, Bubble Kramer, Jake Cliff Gaming, Dr. X, Free Whiskey, Spoontree, The Music, and Yorstra are 11 competitors in the gap right now. Let's see what's going to happen on this qualifier. The second one on the Boomerang, a nice out and back track, 2 minor turns, 2 major turns, and 4 straightaways. Let the action commence. There we go. Kira Zalka, Bulba Kramer, Drahuska, and Rootmaster all making their way through. It looks like Dr. X taking some damage right out of the gate. That's unfortunate. The other marbles now trying to find position as they go into the first minor turn. Dr. X has a beautiful line. Look at that inside line cut straight through the pack like it was a knife through butter, and they are going to be really cranking it early on this race, but there's still a lot of race to go. It's Bulba Kramer, The Music, and the rest of the marbles all trying to find a way to make it happen as they go around into the first major turn. Looks like Dr. X has a pretty good line towards the outside edge. Bulba Kramer coming through in second, The Music in third, and Kira Zalka in fourth place as they go through the middle of the straightaway. Now they're coming up into the second minor turn, and this is where most of the collisions happen. All depends on your line. Dr. X cuts in early, and that's a good move, really getting ahead of the competition there. The Music closes the gap on Bulba Kramer. Bulba Kramer faltering just a little bit as they try to get themselves through on that edge with Kira Zalka, Wootmaster, and Drahuska not too far behind at the front of the peloton right now. Into the last turn of the first lap. Dr. X still holding that lead, but Bulba Kramer is starting to close the gap with The Music, Kira, Rootmaster providing pressure as they continue to go through on this race. Dr. X, though, looking steady and strong in the middle, keeping pace, making sure their breathing's in time with their step, and really putting it all together. But now The Music's making the Kira Zalka move here, and they're getting a good boost of speed, a good line on the inside, gunning for Dr. X. It looks like they took out a bazooka and were trying to point-blank rocket jump right off of Dr. X's skull, but unfortunately no success for The Music, and Dr. X lives to race the rest of this track here as we go through this first major turn to the second lap. There's another attempt from The Music, really gunning for that rocket jump strategy, but hasn't quite been able to pull it off yet. Bulba Kramer coming in. The Music swings again. They are just relentless on the attempts here. They might actually pull it off by the end of this race if Dr. X is not careful, but Dr. X seems to have given the chase here. They are really going for it. Once again, a beautiful line. Dr. X has been perfect with their lines to this entire track, and they are really putting the pressure now on the competitors. Paradot and Bulba Kramer just trying to get there. The Music seems to be a little gassed and winded, having lugged around a 40-pound bazooka through this entire race. It starts to take its toll towards the last edge of this race, and that could be their undoing here as they failed their attempt 3 times. Dr. X in the lead, still holding strong. Paradot and Bulba Kramer, no answer in sight as they go through the final stretch. Coming up into it, Dr. X one last sprint to the finish to push it over and take the victory, and it's Dr. X qualifying for the final race. Peridot in second, Bob Kramer third, the Music for Trahuska in fifth. And that's gonna do it for the second qualifier. Let's go into the next race. Here we are on the third race, the Delta. We got the Music Spoontree, Bobo Kramer, Feared Whiskey, Dr. X, Trahuska, Sensei, Balker, Jake Cliff, KB, Yorsha, Tammy's, Peridot, Wootmaster, Garazalka, 13 marbles on the line, ready to give it their all. I am way too good at reading off names. We still got another 10 seconds to kill. We're going to pretend like this was all part of the monologue in the beginning, and that I'm not just stalling for time here as we go into the beginning of this third qualifying race. Kirazaka and Dr. X, the two qualifiers so far. 10 more to join them in the final race. Let's see who it's going to be. We got Yorsha, Tambourines, and Wootmaster all trying to keep everything together as they go through into the first turn, and it looks like it's a good one for Dr. X once again with that masterful line through these lines, or through these bends, just trying to keep everything under control, and they are doing well. They've already qualified, but they are just looking to hone their craft here, and it is definitely showing as they continue to put the pressure on the other marbles here, but we got Wootmaster and Peridot really gunning for it here as they go through the second straightaway into the second turn. Peridot with a perfect line. Look at that speed. Look at that beauty. Right off the top. Almost jumps out of the track. Peridot is on an absolute tear. The green plasma propulsion system working overtime. Where is this speed coming from? Do you see this execution, ladies and gentlemen? Not even halfway through the first lap, and Peridot is already 90 to 100 marble lengths, and hard to keep the rest of the marbles on the screen with this competition. Peridot is just blasting themselves at breakneck speed going through. It looks like they're actually starting to dilate time and space around them as they approach the speed of light, and they are really cruising as they go through on this second lap. Spoontree and Feared Whiskey rocketing themselves through on the second lap all around the bend, trying to keep pace, but Peridot is just absolutely out of control right now. Feared Whiskey seems to have found the magic, is going to try to get a last boost of speed to close the gap of Peridot, but Peridot's line and speed are just too true and too amazing for the competitors to even have an answer. Here comes Feared Whiskey around the bend. It's too little too late right now. Tambourine's over the top, nothing happening. It's Peridot all the way, ladies and gentlemen. They've cracked the code of supersonic light speed travel, and they are just absolutely crushing it out here on the track, ladies and gentlemen. We might have to look into the banning of plasma jet propulsion systems as they are just absolutely too powerful for this competition. A more than 100 marble length lead finish for Peridot as they cross the line unanswered the entire way. Feared Whiskey in second, Dr. X in third. What a race for Peridot. Hopefully we'll see some better competition in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, our fourth qualifier here at the MSLA Raceway. Dr. X, Trahuska, Bulba, Kramer, Wootmaster, Spoontree, The Music, Thundercat, Jake Liv, Gaming, Feared Whiskey, Kirazalka, Tambourines, Peridot, and Yorstra will be our competitors for this with 13 marbles on the track ready to go. Thundercat, first race of the day, starting right out of the front of the gate. Let's see if they have something up their sleeve here to get them through. They're already going with the geometric interdimensional shield to try to get some unfair advantage similar to what we saw coming out of Peridot in the last race, but right now it is not doing too much more than the other marbles going in that third place position. Coming around the bend, they are going to overtake Jake Cliff Gaming with an exchange of damage, and maybe they're using the defensive capabilities of the geometric interdimensional shield as an offensive weapon, as it seems to have scrambled the genetic makeup of Jake Cliff ever so slightly, causing a bit of deformity and lack of performance in their marble now. Here comes Thundercat right out the inside line, and they're actually starting to put it all together here. Dr. X on the outside line coming through, and the Tambourines claiming Yorsha Trahuska trying to find an answer to the first impression being made here by Thundercat on the racing scene today. Into the final bend of the corner. It's looking pretty good for Thundercat. Look at that beautiful inside line. Going to take it strong, but will they have the speed coming off of the wall? It looks pretty good. Tambourine stumbles. Jake Cliff faltering. Here comes Yorsha with a good boost of speed coming around to the long bend, and it looks like it's going to be Yorstra with that perfect shot into third place. Dr. X holding fifth as they go through this long bend. Thundercat holding a good 80 marble lead as they continue around into the hairpin. It's going to be Tambourine slugging it out with Yorstra neck and neck, but Yorstra is the one that takes the damage. Tambourine's holding strong right now in that beautiful blue car lent to them by Trahuska, as Trahuska's currently invested in a new green car, so it looks like the blue car is being rented out periodically. Yorstra round the bend on the outside with Jake Cliff in tow, third and fourth place respectively. Here comes Thundercat round the bend in that first place position. The geometric trail still doing what it should be doing as they go into the second lap, and it's looking good, but Tambourines hasn't given up yet. In the back, Yorstra and Jake Cliff struggling to keep pace with these two leaders. Wootmaster now making a move with Trahuska not too far behind at the front of the peloton. Thundercat slams into the wall as they cross the line to the second lap, and Jake Cliff Gaming seems to have put it under control. Was this their plan all along, saving all their energy and boost and speed for the second lap, but just gunning it as as much as they possibly can. It could work, but they've got a long way to go. It's Tamarys in third, Yorkshire in fourth, and Bootmaster in fifth. Coming around the first bend of the square corner, and it looks like it's going to be Thundercat still in the lead as Jaycliff Gaming tries to find a way around him. Tamarys now in third, making the move as they go around the bend. Here comes Jaycliff up in second, looking for that inside line around the square quarter, but Thundercat's line continues to be impressive as they try to finish out the last quarter of this square corner. It looks like it's going to be Tamarys in third, closing the gap on Jaycliff, but Thundercat makes a huge move in the final corner of the square turn, and it looks like they're going to have a pretty good line for the dismount. Tamarys trying to find a answer as they go for the inside line, trying to get a bounce off the inside edge, but it's too little right now as Thundercat has regained the lead with a really good lead now. 70 marble lengths going around the outside edge, really streaming that trail. Jaycliff Gaming gets a boost of speed, but so does Thundercat, and Thundercat's actually starting to take off. They have more left in the tank. Thundercat was actually holding back the entire time. What is with the runaway victories here today, ladies and gentlemen? Thundercat 100 marble lengths at least into the hairpin turn, going around the outside and absolutely dominating the track right now. Wootmaster, one last ditch effort, swoops in from the back, trying to close that gap in second place with Jaycliff Gaming, Tamarys, and Kira Rizalka. Kira Rizalka has already placed in the qualifiers here, but they're still looking to make something happen on the track. But Thundercat is so far ahead, it's not even going to matter. Just absolutely rocketing through this track like it was nobody else's business, and they're going to even try to fake the pit stop before they cross the line to finish it out. And it's going to be Thundercat taking it soundly. Another runaway victory here in the qualifiers. Number 4, Kira in second, Tamarys in third, but all eyes on Thundercat. First race of the day and dominating with that geometric interdimensional shield. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, our 5th qualifier here on the Glade. We got Thundercat, Kira Rizalka, Jaycliff Gaming, Druska, Dr. X, Tamarys, paired out the music, Sensei, Balk, Yorstra, Feared Whiskey, and Spoontree. All ready to go here on the 5th qualifier of the night. The marbles are off, looking across the line. A little slow to start there as they all lacking a little bit of boost off the front line. The music hit the ground running, and it looks like they've ditched the bazooka and just gone for running shoes. So we'll see if those running shoes work. And it looks like they're actually trying to incentivize their marble with a carrot. Not sure carrots are the most alluring thing to a marble, but we'll see how it performs out on the track right now. It's Peridot bouncing around in second place, one who has already qualified here today. Oh my goodness, Drahuska just absolutely ground Sensei Balker into oblivion, just held their face down to the pavement as they continued to go along the track, and there is nothing left of that marble. But now Peridot getting a taste of their own medicine sandwiched between the two other marbles. Yoshua takes out Spoontree. Drahuska's still alive somehow. Seems to be having a little bit of trouble keeping the other marbles away, but now they're going to go for it here. The music could be in trouble as they go around into the straightaway before they get into the tires. Histroska in second, Peridot in third, and Yorstra in fourth. Tamarys and Dr. X trying to make something happen at the back of the fronting lead here, and it looks like the music starting to slow down. The carrot not doing its trick. Droska with a perfect line, keeping the car sound and steady after all that collision happening at the beginning, and it looks like it's going to pay off right here as they go into the tire. It's Droska in first, Peridot in second, Thea, Yorstra, and Tamarys tied for third as they go around the bend. Lots of damage done on the corner. Thea music takes out Peridot, Tamarys takes out Yorstra, and it's absolute carnage out on the track. The marbles launching into the air, trying to dodge each other's blows as they go around this very sharp turn, and it looks like Druska's still going to come out the victor right now as they go through the second half. It's Tia Music and Tamarys tied for second, Dr. X in fourth with Jaycliff Gaming and Kurozaka limping along, looking much worse for wear as they have been through the ringer on this one. Druska continuing to go through, but Theon Music, an amazing boost of speed. It looks like the carrot's finally starting to work, and they're going to try to make something happen as they approach the line for the second lap here in this qualifier. Tamarys back in third, keeping their distance, trying to stay alive as all the damage being dealt right now is really deciding who's in and who's out. It's going to be Theon Music taking over Druska. Now into the second lap they go, trying to chase that carrot as hard as they can, but Druska still continues to be steady, driving that fancy new green car. Tamarys with the lone car from Druska now coming around the bend. And it looks like both Druska cars, oh my god, Tamarys absolutely destroyed Druska. Finding the self-destruct button in Druska's new rig and pressing it against their will has taken them out of the competition just like that, and Druska might be thinking twice about loaning that car to Tamarys. Here's the Music in the lead as they cross the line into the second lap, chasing that carrot as hard as they possibly can, and it seems to be working, but now they're starting to slow down. I think they actually got a nibble of the carrot as it swung back into them, and they had to take a moment to swallow, but now they're back on track as they continue to push through in first place. Tamarys in second, and the other marbles miles miles behind. More than 100 marble lengths to go between those marbles. So once again, a runaway situation here, but at least we have two contenders for first at the moment. It's Neon Music and Tamarys coming around the bend as they approach the second straightaway of the second lap, and it looks like Neon Music's got it worked out pretty well. Fear Whiskey takes out Jacliffe Gaming. Kira Mazalka holding third. Oh my goodness, Neon Music taking another nibble of the carrot, and here comes Tamarys looking for the self-destruct button on that carrot, but I don't think they're going to be able to find it, but they have done enough damage to Neon Music to give him a little bit of trouble. Here comes Tamarys in second now, still chasing Neon Music, Fear Whiskey, Dr. X, and Thundercat, the last three alive in the back, trying to find a way to catch up to these other two hooligans running around up front, but it looks like Neon Music's carrot is just too tantalizing for Tamarys to do anything about it. It's Neon Music holding the lead. Tamarys in second place, trying to find a way to get themselves up in front as they come around into the tire. And it looks like Neon Music's got a pretty good line. Needs to be careful with Tamarys swinging for the fences here. Tamarys goes for a shot. A little too far behind. Dr. X closes the gap in third. Feared Whiskey in fourth. Oh my goodness. Feared Whiskey seems to have completely fallen to pieces. Parts of their body just being dragged along by the skin, barely holding them together. And it looks like they're just going to keep limping along as they go through on this race. Just happy to be alive. Neon Music still in first. Tamarys trying to find a way to catch up in second, but nothing happening at the last approach here. Dr. X in third, Feared Whiskey in fourth, and Thundercat all the way back in fifth place. Just a roll of toilet paper flapping in the breeze. Here comes Neon Music around the bend into this second to last straightaway, with Tamarys trying to find a way to catch up, but again, that carrot just too tantalizing for Neon Music, and Tamarys does not have an answer. It's Dr. X in third, Feared Whiskey still dragging their arm by just the skin along the track. It's not the best scene you've seen, but you gotta love the determination and spirit of Feared Whiskey keeping it together here in this competition where seven other marbles have not made it. Neon Music around the second to last bend. Tamarys trying to find one last way to catch up to this marble, but the carrot, again, just too appetizing for the other marbles to do anything about. And it's Neon Music in the final straightaway. Tamarys with one last chance to gut it to try to go for the victory here. Will Tamarys be able to do anything about Neon Music's absolutely astonishing performance here today? No, they won't. It's Neon Music across the line in first place, munching down the rest of the carrot in victory, with Thundercat, Dr. X, and whoever the other one was barely crossing the line to finish out the fifth qualifying race. Ladies and gentlemen, our sixth qualifier of the night. Dr. X, Spoontree, Undersworld, Yours Trust, Seasauce Beauty, Katie Nadal, Kira Zalka, Elsa the First, Paradox, Jacliffe Gaming, Feared Whiskey, and Drahuska and Sensei Balker. All 13 marbles ready to go here on Excite Bike, and the marbles going for that initial scramble across the line, coming across all those bumps as they go through into the first turn, riding high on the wall there. Lots of confusion as the marbles do all start at different elevations, and it's much of a scramble in that first half as they all just slam into that wall. Looks like Seasauce takes out Enders. A bit brutal for that early in the race, but hey, you gotta go for the win somehow, some way. Here comes Paradox. Katie did it all, and Seasauce Meter all jumping for glory as they looked across the line in that first place position into the second lap, but it's Seasauce Meter getting a really good bounce off of the bump. Did you see that execution from Seasauce Meter as they go up to the top of the wall? Yorstra, Paradox, Ruska, Fear Whiskey, and Elsa the First, all trying to find a better line as they go for those jumps around the bend. Oh my goodness, Paradox just smushed Yorstra right into the bump. Seasauce Meter continuing to hold a pretty strong lead though as they go around the bend. It might be a short and quick wonder here for Seasauce Meter. Elsa the First with last effort to go over the top, tries to take out Seasauce, but Seasauce narrowly dodges it. Fear Whiskey almost cut in on the inside line to snipe a first place finish, but Seasauce Meter kept it together pretty nicely considering all of the competition around them, and that is going to get them qualified. Here we are for the seventh qualifier on Marble Canyon. We've got Druska, Jacliffe Gaming, Dr. X, Yorstra, Karazaka, Feared Whiskey, Enders World, Whoopmaster, Thundercat, Paradox, Katie Doll, Spoontree, Sensei Bunker, and Tamarys all lined up, ready to go to see who can enter the finals through this race. The marbles getting off of that initial speed. They are in an extra large size, so we're going to have some very interesting mechanics happening. As you can see here, Tamarys has yet to leave the actual start line. Might be actually going for a Mario Kart checkpoint skip hack by rounding out on a corner, otherwise not intended by the programming of the game. But it seems to not be working out in their favor, and they are just wasting time in the back as the marbles now push through. Already, we have lost 6 marbles in the turn while we were watching what was going on in the back there with Tamarys. So Enders World in a very snazzy car. I did not know there were such snazzy cars. There's a black and white one. Oh my goodness, Drosko, we're going to have to get you yet another car. Let me know if I can send you some money to make it happen. That is phenomenal. Or is that the MSLA car? That might be the MSLA car. Doesn't matter. Enders World is using that car to absolutely decimate the competition right now. Smushing marbles under underneath it like it was a tanker being dropped on a skunk. And that's going to be Ender's World now in the lead, with Druska giving chase. Both at very bad damage right now, not even through the first lap. This map is absolutely devastating to the integrity of the marbles, and the marbles are going to have to be careful here as they go around. Enders and Druska have just decided to sail out across the top of the mountain, going for oblivion here. Not sure that was the fastest route to go, but they're just going so fast it doesn't seem to matter. Ender's World, beautiful line, swooping down off of that slope to get themselves propelled forward, but Druska answers back with their own swooping line. Dr. X trying to find a way to bank around to get a little bit more speed around this bend, but it's Druska now taking the lead from Enders as the marbles continue to battle for this qualifying race. It's Druska out on top, Ender's World underneath. It looks like Druska might be trying to give Ender's World a taste of their own money of going for the smush tactic from down below, and it might actually work, and there it is! Druska has taken Ender's World's own strategy and used it against them, and now it's Druska all out alone, just celebratory, launching themselves back and forth across the sides of the canyon here. It's Dr. X and Jacliffe Gaming trying to find a way to move up in second place, but Druska has done so well in taking out Enders perfectly that now it's just a slow cruise straight across the line to the finish, and once again a runaway victory here, this time for Druska as they cross the line. It's going to be Dr. X in second, Jacliffe Gaming in third, and that will be it for the 7th qualifier of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to the next race. Ladies and gentlemen, our 8th qualifier of the evening. Dr. X, Wootmaster, Peridot, Yorkshire, Kirizalka, Katie Diddle, Thundercat, Sensei, Balker, Chicken Roo joining in, Jacliffe Gaming and Spoontree behind him, Ender's World, Feared Whiskey, Druska, Tabrace, and the Shadow of the Blimp getting in on the action here. 15 marbles, ready to go for it. On our 8th qualifier of the night. Here we go. The marbles going across the initial scramble, looking for something to happen right out of the gate. A lot of collisions coming around on the backside of that bend here on the bracket, and it's already looking pretty rough for some of the marbles out there. We've lost Thundercat, we've lost Strahuska, and I think we lost Feared Whiskey. Wootmaster also out now as well, and now the marbles are trying to spread out as they go through into this first straightaway. It's 2 straightaways with 2 little swiggle-swaggle S-bend turns. We'll see how this goes as the marbles go through on the turnaround. It's going to be Spoontree taking out Sensei Balker. Tabrace and Ender's World neck and neck, looking to go for it again. And this time, Ender's World, with their patented car smush technology, has absolutely squashed Tabrace out of this race. It's going to be now Spoontree and Chicken Roo giving chase to Enders in second, third, respectively. But Chicken Roo is looking really bad right now. That egg is close to cracking completely, and they need to be careful in the rest of this race. Jacliffe Gaming in fourth, Dr. X in fifth, Kirizalka in sixth. The marbles nice and perfectly spaced out to try to keep out from colliding with each other, and it looks like it's going to be a bit of a wash as they all go around the bend there. Peridot bounces up the top of Yorstra, propelling themselves forward, but Kirizalka's going to keep them in place as they go through the next half of the straightaway. Ender's World coming around the bend with Spoontree. Kirizalka taking out Peridot, finishing him off, and now Ender's World is going to have to be careful with lots of marbles coming up from behind to look to take out the competition. Chicken Roo's egg finally cracked. It looks like Jacliffe Gaming rolling down through, but Spoontree has another answer, but Ender's World squashes them under their car tire, and once again Enders is just absolutely eliminating anyone who tries to threaten their qualifying here tonight. They're a little sore after Druska took him out in the previous race, and they're taking that anger out on everyone else, it seems, and so far it is working. It's going to be Dr. X and Kira chasing in second. Yorstra back in fourth place now as they go into the second half of the first straightaway of the second lap, and it's Ender's World out by about 20 marble lengths. Kirizalka trying to hold the pace in the car of their own with Dr. X and Yorstra just happy to be alive right now and waiting for an opportunity to strike should it arise. Here comes Enders around the tight turn. It's looking pretty good for them with Kirizalka barely alive right now. That car is not looking good at all. The muffler's starting to fall off the back. It looks like the radiator's boiling over, and it's not going to be a good run for Kira if they can't keep that car together for the second half of this last lap. Dr. X in third, trying to push a little bit more pressure on Kira. Ender's World, though, just cruising in first place with no answer from the other marbles. Coming up to the turn now. Let's see what happens. It's Ender's World smoothly through. Looks like Dr. X got a little height on it. Yorstra coming around. Dr. X falls behind. Kirizalka still keeping pace. Ender's World around the bend. Oh my goodness, a very tight turn there from Ender's World as they landed off of the corner there, and that is going to actually get them a little bit more distance between themselves and Kira, but Kira hasn't given up yet. Dr. X in third and Yorstra in fourth, coming around the final strong turn before they hit this final straightaway of the last lap, looking to qualify here in the 8th qualifier of the evening. It's Ender's World really putting it down now. They've got a lot of distance. They've got a lot of speed. Kirizalka and Dr. X and Yorstra, any answer, nothing in sight. Ender's World runs away with it here on the final push, and it's Ender's World across the line to qualify it. Kira in second, Dr. X in third, Yorstra right behind in fourth, and we move on to the next race. Ladies and gentlemen, Lapsland for the 9th qualifier. Kirizalka, Feared Whiskey, Tamariz, Katie Doll, Chicken Roo, Sensei Balker, Elsa the First, Peridot, Yorkshire, Thundercat, Jacob, Dr. X, and Wootmaster sneaking in at the last second, meowing their way into the track. Let's see what's going to happen with these marbles. Kirizalka's in a white car this time. There are so many cars, I'm going to have to get them all. Here we go. The marbles getting through. I forgot to change the speed, but that's okay. Everything going well. This is Lapsland, an octagonal out and back with a lot of bumps and shit in the way, including trees, which will stop your marble completely. So you got to be careful if you want to get through this race with a pretty good line. Here comes Tamariz and Wootmaster battling for first, with Elsa the First in third as they try to get around the next corner. And it looks like all the marbles are doing pretty well. Tamariz smooshes Wootmaster into the wall, leaving nothing left behind. Here comes Elsa the First in second. It's going to be Jacoblev Gaming bouncing through these lines. Oh my goodness, look at the beautiful speed and control over these moguls as Jacoblev Gaming is really putting it all together right now, trying to put the pressure on Tamariz. Now battling with Elsa as they go through. Thundercat coming up from behind, still just a piece of toilet paper blowing in the breeze, but this time blowing toward that first place position. It's going to be Tamariz now putting on more speed as they go through this next straightaway, and it looks like Elsa the First is going to have to do a little bit more work to catch up in the second lap here. They're about 70 marble lengths behind. Tamariz, look at that. Oh, they tried to cut the corner on the inside, but they hit the wall a little too early and then bounced to the outside while lost all their speed in line. Completely disheartened by that failure. They have lost all of the lead they just accumulated, and they're going to have to try to establish it all over again. Oh no, Tamariz right into the tree. They've completely lost the plot. Absolutely disheartened. The morale has completely fled their marble entirely, and now they just are faltering all the way back to almost last place. That car took a really bad hit. I think they actually bent the frame of their vehicle on that tree because that tree did not budge for 1 second after that impact, and now the rest of the marbles have overtaken and are in chase for first place. Oh my goodness, Yorkshire seems to have put Tamariz out of their misery. Caterall takes out Yorkshire, Peridot takes out Elsa the First, and now Peridot is in that first place position. No, never mind. Jacoblev Gaming slices them in the back with a large kukri, and that's going to take them out of the competition, but Jacoblev Gaming doesn't look so good themselves. Thundercat coming through. Katie did it all in third place, but it's already over. Jacoblev Gaming perfectly timing the kukri slice on Peridot to secure their victory there. Thundercat, the toilet paper, just continuing to flap around with no ability to secure a victory at the moment. Katie did it all in third, and Sensei Balker finally across the line, the last remaining marble alive, and that's going to do it for the 9th qualifier. Let's get into the next one. This is the 10th qualifier on the circuit. We've got Feared Whiskey, Yorkshire, Thundercat, Chicken Roo, Kirizalka, Sensei Balker, Wootmaster, Spoontree, Jacoblev Gaming, Peridot, Dr. X, Katie Doll, and Tamariz. Ready to go clockwise around the circuit here. Let's see what's going to happen in the third to last qualifier of the evening. That initial not moving of marbles is always very concerning, but it looks like the marbles have actually gotten it together now, and it looks like it's going to be Yorkshire and Spoontree trying to find that perfect line around the first turn as they go into the first lap. It's going to be Dr. X to the outside, trying to get ahead of the competition as they have already qualified. It doesn't really matter. They're just out here to have some fun and maybe dishearten the competitors that are still trying to place. It looks like Thundercat, the toilet paper, still blowing in the breeze on that outside line, just happy to be here as they also have already qualified. It's Dr. X, Spoontree, and Jacoblev Gaming giving chase to Yorkshire, who now is in the lead at the front of the peloton. Thundercat and Sensei Balker to the bottom of the inside line. Here's Feared Whiskey. Oh my goodness, a triple, quadruple kill coming into that corner. Absolute carnage on the track. Debris flying everywhere. The spectators need to be careful. Hopefully they're using the provided riot shields that we have given them to survive the spectation of this sport. That's right, even spectating is a contact sport in this arena. Let's see what's going to happen as we go through the second half of the first lap. Dr. X out in front by about 20 marble lengths. Thundercat takes out Jacoblev. Spoontree holding steady, but now Thundercat's got a good boost of speed. Still going with that geometry interdimensional shield trail, trying to get their marble as protected as possible. In third place, Spoontree right behind Thundercat. Fear and Whiskey in fourth. Wootmaster and Peridot going through, and looks like Spoontree takes out Thundercat. The shield has done absolutely nothing to stop the tirade, and now Wootmaster takes out Fear and Whiskey from behind with a quick uppercut to the sphincter, and that's not a good way to go. Peridot in fourth place. Dr. Rex holding that lead as they go into the second lap by about 40 to 50 marble lengths. Spoontree, I just can't get over that line I just said. And it's going to be Spoontree going through in the middle in second place. Wootmaster taking out Peridot. Just 3 marbles remain, and we're not even through the first lap. Absolute devastation here out on the track. Dr. X in that first place position. Spoontree gunning for him, running him down in the second place line, and in third is Wootmaster, just happy to be alive in the back of the pack. Dr. X, who has already qualified. Spoontree has not, and neither has Wootmaster, so this is really just a competition between Spoontree and Wootmaster. Dr. X out in front, taunting the marbles. They're actually rolling backwards. They're just a strawberry rolling on the track, the most fragile of chassis you could possibly muster in this competition, and they are just absolutely taunting the heck out of Spoontree and Whoopmaster. A small, fragile strawberry rolling down the track backwards, with Spoontree and Whoopmaster incapable of doing anything, despite the fact that Whoopmaster has an entire geodesic laser grid planetary defense system, and Spoontree with a rocket-propelled flame trail, just trying to get anything to happen. But Dr. X is out here just waddling in front of them, taunting them the entire way, and they have no answer for it. Spoontree to the outside line. Whoopmaster in the back hits the outside edge pretty hard there. Now trying to get a good boost of speed. They're going to close the gap on Spoontree, but Dr. X still remains about 40 to 50 marble lengths ahead. It's Dr. X around the bend, looking to finish out this race in style. Spoontree holding second right now in the qualifying position, unless Whoopmaster has an answer as we come up into the final stretch. It's Spoontree taking the lead. Whoopmaster really starting to falter now. That planetary defense system sucking up all the energy that otherwise would have been used for speed, and it looks like Spoontree's choice of just a plain old-fashioned rocket burner will be the way to victory here, unless Whoopmaster has an answer around the bend. Coming into the final stretch, it's Spoontree in first place, or in second place, Whoopmaster in third. Dr. X already completely unanswered as they go around into this last half quarter, and it's Spoontree all the way. Whoopmaster no answer, just continuing to cruise down here. Spoontree's looking to put it away. Whoopmaster faltering even more. They've completely drained their battery. Dr. X now even slowing down as they cross the finish line. You hate to see it. The horrible, unsportsmanlike conduct coming out of Dr. X, rolling down the track with a mushy strawberry, decimating everyone in their wake. But it will be Spoontree, the one that qualifies here in the 10th qualifier. Let's get out of that race and move on to a better one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paradox, Sensei Balker, Feared Whiskey, Kirazalka, Chicken Room, Jake Gaming, Thundercat, Tabreach, Dr. X, Katie Doll, Spoontree, Whoopmaster, and Nelson the First, ready for the second to last qualifier of the night here on the brick. Let's get into the action. Is Whoopmaster in first place once again with the geodesic planetary defense system, just trying to make something happen. Feared Whiskey in second, Katie Doll in third. Lots of damage being dealt through the corners. Peridot carried it all, and Chicken Roo eliminated already. Through the tires we go. It's Whoopmaster holding the lead for now, but now we're going in another turn, and we could see some more eliminations coming through. Lots of marbles getting close together, pretty close, too close for comfort, some might say, as they go through. And there it is. Lots of damage being dealt right now between Sensei Balker and Kira Razalka. And it looks like they're both going to be alive for now. No, Sensei Balker drops a clop trip, pops the tires. Akira Zalka, they spin out of control and explodes spontaneously. And that is a rough way to go, but all part of the competition here out in the Derby. Whoopmaster, Feared Whiskey, and Tambries coming around the bend in first, second, and third, respectively. It's going to be Sensei Balka in fourth, Spoontree in fifth, and us in the first and sixth. The only 6 for marbles remaining. Nope, make that 5 as we're just eliminating them rapidly here. Whoopmaster crosses the line in first place to move into the second lap. Tambries in second, Sensei Balka in third. Spoontree coming around in that fourth place position. Nelson the first, still giving chase in fifth, just trying to make it happen right now. And I think Sensei Balker has taken out another one. They've got clop trips for everyone. They're popping tires, they're exploding Achilles heels, and making sure no one is safe ever on this course. They just have to be careful not to hit one themselves. Whoopmaster still using that planetary defense system. It looks like they've rewired the energy expulsion, so now instead of providing a defensive force, they're changing it into a propulsion force, and that seems to be working with lots of sparks coming out the back of the marble, just propelling it forward as rapidly as possible. Sensei Balker in second, struggling to hold by about 30 marble legs. Spoontree in fourth, Elson the first and fourth, and there's absolutely nothing happening right now in the position of the marbles. They seem to be locked in. It might be, actually, I'm getting word, yes, Whoopmaster has found a way to tidally lock the other marbles with gravity coming out of the planetary defense system, and that is absolutely absurd, ladies and gentlemen. Providing a gridlock in space and time itself to lock the marbles into their positions so that they can't exchange the places, and taking the victory for themselves. Whoopmaster has found a way to do it. Not sure we're going to be allowing that in the future, but for now it stands. Whoopmaster is going to be our 11th qualifier of the night. So now we got to get into the next race. This is it, the final qualifying race of the night for the Shenanigans Marble Derby Classic number 37. We got Chicken Roo, Kirazalka, Tambries, Dr. X, Yorstra, Peridot, Sensei Balker, Whoopmaster, Foreman, Katie Doll, Feared Whiskey, Jake Gaming, Thundercat, and Spoontree. 14 competitors looking to be one of the last qualifiers here for the final race. The blimp shadow moves in across the field ominously just as the marbles get started. And here they go across the line and into the race. It's Fear and Whiskey coming through on the outside line. This is the Sabre, a very difficult track to master. It's got 4 full turns, 4 half turns, and 2 long straightaways, a little bit of everything. So you have to be a master at navigation to get through this track with any kind of speed. Here comes Fear and Whiskey, looking to have a pretty good line through the middle. Dr. X high and outside as they go around the first turn or the second turn here, and it's looking pretty good for them. Katie Nadal takes out Foreman. The other marbles jumbling up quite hard as they try to get through this first lap. Fear and Whiskey is in the lead, though. Those antlers really doing their work right now. As Dr. X, Jakeliff Gaming, and Peridot all collide coming through the turn. Peridot takes out Jakeliff. Tambreeze takes out Yorstra. The collisions are absolutely out of control. Spoontree taking out Tambreeze now. It looks like Spoontree's swinging for the fences, but they've got a lot of damage to their own. Dr. X not looking good either. Peridot coming up from behind. Dr. X needs to be careful for the collision here. Peridot looking to kill yet another marble as they go around the bend. Oh my goodness, a high-flying collision, but no damage dealt as they go through into this last turn of the first lap, and the marbles are continuing to put the pressure on. It's Dr. X swinging wide to the outside. Peridot in first as they try to go through, but Dr. X overtakes with a better line and a good boost of speed as they come up into the last straightaway of the first lap. Katie Nadal coming around in third. It's going to be Spoontree, Whiskey, and Katie Nadal in the back. Just 5 marbles left alive and not looking good for most of them. It's only Peridot and Fairy Whiskey at full health. The rest are just barely hanging on to life itself as they go into this second lap. Through the first turn, it's going to be Dr. X holding steady. Peridot coming around right behind in second. Fairy Whiskey taking the lead in third with Katie Nadal and Spoontree trying not to be murdered as they go through in the back, but they're going to need to make a move if they want to qualify before the race is over today. Here comes Dr. X through this turn in the first place position. Peridot looking to cut him off in second, but it's going to be pretty good line from Dr. X coming through. Fear and Whiskey holding third, but Spoontree's starting to make a move on that inside line. Fear and Whiskey might strike back if Spoontree's not careful. Peridot starts to falter. Dr. X is still holding that lead, but now they're coming into the second half of the last lap here. And Dr. X needs to be careful. Here comes Spoontree, now in third. Fear and Whiskey falls back to fourth, and Katie Nadal's just not doing well in the back. It looks like they've taken a couple too many hits and might not even know which way they're running. Here comes Peridot, looking to slam down on Dr. X, but Dr. X dodges underneath, but Peridot's now in the lead. Peridot is going to take the charge here. Fear and Whiskey takes out Spoontree. Dr. X coming around the outside of the bend, looking for a good dismount to get some more speed through. They're going to try to close the gap on Peridot, but Dr. X and Peridot both, I believe, have qualified, so Fear and Whiskey the only one looking to qualify right now if they don't get eliminated. It's Peridot and Dr. X neck and neck, just having it out here on the track, even though it's not theirs to decide. Fear and Whiskey in third, Katie Nadal in fourth. Can either of them make something happen before the race is over? Dr. X sprinting out through as they go down. It's going to be a close finish. Dr. X tries to sprint out, but Peridot's going to take it. Peridot first, Dr. X second, and Fear and Whiskey will be our final qualifier for the final race. Better luck next time, Katie Nadal, but at least you finished. Let's go to the final race. Here we are on the finals for the Shenanigans Barbecue Classic number 37. We've got 12 competitors ready to give it their all here for 12 laps on the work in progress, aka the figure 8. It's Thundercat, Woomaster, Droska, Kirazalka, Peridot, Endersworld, Jakeliff Gaming, Spoontree, Seasauce, Katie Nadal, Via Music, and Dr. X. The 2 favorites right now, Endersworld and Kirazalka. And mentioning Endersworld, thanks to them for sponsoring a MSLA skin to the winner of this race. So here we go. Without further ado, 10 seconds to get this race going. Let's see who's going to take it all the way for the Shenanigans Marble Derby Classic number 37. Again, this is a bit of an endurance race for the finals. 12 laps on a very deadly course. Let's see what's going to happen with our marbles here as they try to get through on the bouncing corners. It's Jakeliff Gaming out in front with Seasauce Muta and The Hunt Music. No deaths yet, but I'm sure they're coming. And just as I say that, Jakeliff Gaming takes out Taruska. That car is just not cut out for today. Spoontree takes out Katie Nadal down to 10 as the marbles go through in the cycling. It looks like it's a pretty good race so far. The Hunt Music and Wootmaster up front. Jakeliff Gaming on the outside and Seasauce Muta coming through as we go into the second lap. The Hunt goes completely sideways, almost runs out of the track. Did you see that line? Absolutely catastrophic for them as the rest of the marbles go through. The Music is going to be in a lot of trouble. Seasauce tries to get ahead, but it looks like Thundercat's going to take out Woomaster. Jakeliff smacks into the side rail. Not looking good for them. There comes Thundercat, Peridot, and Endersworld trying to make something happen up in the front as they go through into the third lap, and Spoontree not too far behind. Kirazaka coming through. Endersworld takes out Peridot. Marbles continuing to be eliminated here, but they're starting to spread out and get themselves situated. Theon all the way back in 7th place with Jakeliff Gaming and Dr. X holding the middle of the line. behind. Endersworld to the left, needs to be careful not to hit the wall, managed not to do so. Spoontree's going to smack into that wall, though, and now it's going to come down to execution. The music in Endersworld. Endersworld is wielding a katana. Thundercat is actually wielding a spiked mace, and both marbles are looking to have a competition here as we go through into the second half of the laps. Here comes Kirazalka in third. Spoontree in fourth. Jaycliff and Dr. X in sixth place now. 7 marbles remain. Thundercat going through, looking pretty good. Looks like that toilet paper is finally getting its glory that it's been chasing all day. And they are going to be going through with the interdimensional shield, the spiked mace, and everything working in their favor. Endersworld with the fancy car, just trying to make it happen right now, wielding the katana as a side option, but not needing it just quite yet. They might go for their patented car squish technology to make it happen here instead. They've got options, and we'll see how they choose to play it as we go through into the second half. Kirazalka in third, staying ahead of Spoontree, who's chasing him down quite heavily with that fire trail. Dr. X just happy to be here, and Theon Music, taking a lot of damage and a lot of bad lines, is going to be needing to climb a very uphill battle to get themselves through. Endersworld falters on the intercross as the second half starts, and it looks like Endersworld is going to fall back all the way to fourth place now, leaving Thundercat all alone. The toilet paper just blapping in the breeze, absolutely unimpeded, and it looks like that is the strategy all along. There's a lot of air to be gotten on these corners, and what better air to take it than a nice toilet paper roll flapping in that breeze, staying and floating along like a sail in the wind for across the seas. And Thundercat is absolutely crushing it right now as they continue to go through, but they're just one bad line away from ruining it all. Kirazalka is up in second. Endersworld trying to make up some ground in fourth with Dr. X in between in third. The Music has made it back up into fifth place, and there is just one marble left behind, and that's Spoontree, who's almost half a lap behind as we start to get into the later laps of this race. It's going to be the Thundercat in that first place position. Kirazalka really closing the gap now with Dr. X a little bit further behind in third. Thundercat trying to find a way to shake Kirazalka loose, but Kirazalka staying poised and focused here. Are they using a shopping cart to get themselves through this race? Yes, they are. They're trying to put the toilet paper in the shopping cart, as is well known across grocery stores everywhere. The natural enemy and predator of the toilet paper roll is a shopping cart, but Kira seems to have slammed right into the wall just as we got talking about it, and that's going to ruin their chances entirely here for the last quarter of this race. Spoontree is actually so far behind, they almost collided with Thundercat, and maybe that was Spoontree's idea all along. Were they trying to snipe Thundercat from the very beginning? I guess we'll find out now. Both marbles are dangerously close to colliding as they go through these intersections close to the same time. Thundercat is holding it with a good boost of speed coming around into the 10th lap. Dr. X holding the line as they go through the outside. Endersworld in third. Kirazalka in fourth with the shopping cart. Spoontree and Theon Music both with a chance to take out Thundercat if Thundercat's not careful, but it looks like Thundercat's going to thread the needle pretty good on that cross. Dr. X in second, now trying to find a way to close the gap on Thundercat as the other marbles try to take Thundercat out from the back, and it looks like it's going to get pretty dicey here as the marbles continue to go through. Thundercat gets ahead of Spoontree and Theon. Dr. Music falling further behind, a quarter of a loop behind the Thundercat as they continue to go through, and just one lap left to go, so the marbles are going to have to make a move if they want to make one at all on this final race. Thundercat continuing to push ahead with a lot of speed and a lot of air. Dr. X over in second, now just chasing Thundercat with all they've got. Endersworld goes through. Theon Music takes out Spoontree, and that could be a problem because now Thundercat has no obstacles crossing these intersections. Dr. X in second has a lot of trouble keeping up. They're actually getting further behind than they were before. Endersworld holds on to third. Kirazalka in fourth. Theon Music in fifth place coming across, and that's it. Thundercat gets through every intersection without a single collision, and there is not a marble in sight to challenge him. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be the interdimensional geometric trail and Thundercat's flapping toilet paper in the breeze strategy to take it home today. An absolutely unprecedented and unconventional strategy. Glad to see it work here out in this Shenanigans Marble Derby Classic scene, and that is definitely a victory for the record books, ladies and gentlemen. Take note, new tech released here on the Shenanigans Marble Derby Classic number 37. Thank y'all for being here. We'll see you next week, every Wednesday at 7 p.m.